Aha, me hearties. Well now, I'd wish Jim Lad a happy birthday, but some people apparently don't like being wished happy birthdays, so there we are. The accent, of course, is Robert Newton, Treasure Island. Yes, honestly. He lived in Dorset and then in Cornwall. Yeah, right. And he was the one who started off this. I'll just have a sip of water. Yeah. He lied, that isn't water. Muscatel, very sweet, and just the thing, because of course, as ever, I need sweetening. Haha. Right, now that goes in there, that undoubtedly goes in there, so I'm quite sure about that. Anyway, what I was going to do was show you that I have pressed on to a certain extent with this because that's bizarre. Oh, I see. I don't know where C16 goes, I'm sure. It must go somewhere. It's impossible to actually, as I said before, do this sort of kind of live on camera because I can't find half the bits. This one, because some of the bits fall out of the I call it sprue, don't I? Then you end up not really. Without a 16. Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, it took me half an hour to find that because it fell out. And yeah. Anyway, this has a couple of what look like parcels. Did I ever tell you about an event that took place on Blandford's Forum Station back in the good old days when you had steam engines? Well, I happen to know this character who was involved, who was a porter, I suppose, worked there. A chap called Nobby Whiting, and most Whitings are called Nobby. As far as I know, that seems to have been a fairly general kind of a thing. Anyway, one day he has a small dog being transported by train, and it got away, and he came leaping down the platform. Well, no, come on, I knew the guy. He probably just sort of trotted out of the station building and waved at this animal which was trying to escape, saying, "Stop that dog, he's a parcel." And there you are. That was the end of that. They used to have quite a lot of odd stories about railways and things. I still think one of the best ones was the British Railways 210 locomotive, which basically means that it was built as a heavy goods engine, which is what most of them spent their life doing. But because they were so well built, now I've got no idea. I'm sure it goes there. Somewhere. It goes there somewhere. But these things are... The trouble is the instructions are so small that half the time you really cannot see, and I think that that has to go in there, Well, that's something. Yep, there we are. Anyway, it was a particularly powerful engine, and despite the fact it was built for freight, it was fast enough to handle passenger traffic. And a rather nonchalant guard was standing on the platform at Blandford Station, and he waved his green flag and blew his whistle, and the driver, who must have been a bit of a wag, whacked the regulator open, and the train accelerated so fast out the station that the guard couldn't get on it and was left there, rather demon-like. There is a hole up in there. Oh, wait a minute. Does that go over there like that? It could do. That could go in there. And that could go in there. Is that going to work? I think it is. It's now reached a stage with this bit. It's going in there come hell or high water. There we are. Good. Okay, now all these intricate little bits and pieces take ever such a time to put together, and I have gradually been doing this. Yes, I think we're still on camera, aren't we? Something which I have to sort of watch. And yeah. So this still goes up and down, which is a crank inside, and the crank operates this. And if you can see that parcel, which is not a dog, no, it goes up and down with that once that's moving, but I haven't got the adapter. The problem is that I've got to move the bed to put a new double socket with USB ports on, and I haven't done it. So the socket is occupied by a rather skeleton affair that actually does take a USB, which I need out here to plug in, and then once I put the socket in, I can plug my phone and my Kindle in there without any trouble. Right, that's as far as we are going this evening. Oh, thinking about it, yes, I had trouble because I had to find an adapter for an American plug this afternoon, which was, well, I actually found it on Janet's camera battery charger. So I whipped that, and then the thing I was plugging in, which is all to do with the next project, didn't work, and I can't work out why. So I've bought something simpler, which will arrive on the jolly old interweb thingy, and hopefully do better than what Janet's Bird Food did today, where DPD, sorry, not DVD, DPD. They'd probably be more useful if they were DVD, but anyway, the van obviously pulled up in our lay-by, and whilst standing on our property took a a picture of the property opposite and said sorry there wasn't anybody in and he couldn't deliver. We do get them. We do get them. There we are. Okay folks, well, cheers, good health. This is lovely and sweet and is sweetening me up beautifully. And I shall now go and do a little more research for the next project. Ooh, that's... the next project I may put on to another, what would you call it? Well, the words fail me. But all of this stuff is all on one channel. I might have a new channel for it. Because it seems like a good idea. And as the man said after he jumped into a cactus patch, well, kind of seemed like a good idea at the time. Good night.